Okay? We're holding with Tzipisli Yeshua. One of the questions they ask after 120 years, Tzipisli Yeshua, were you waiting the salvation, the coming Mashiach? Birin Yinzeh ki anivdel hu bepol tomid. V'odem agash b'inu bepol raku b'koyach. Gizeu inyan achomer. When we speak anything spiritual, let's say a person passes away, the neshama. What is the neshama? It's a reality of what it is. What is a human being? A human being is purely potential. Right? Your value is to do. Right? Once a person passes away, you're on the receiving end only. There's no doing any longer. Right? That's why, what is a person who passes away who's a Jew? What is he called? A nifter. Nifter means he's potter. He's absolved. He has no obligation. A bar chiyuva, as long as you're alive, you have an obligation to continue to do. To take your ability, take the potential, and actualize it. Once you become the spiritual being, you are what you are, and you're locked into that. That's where you are. There's no longer, so you've been poil. You are a reality of what you are. But chomer, anything in the material, its value is what you can do with it. Right? You have bricks, you have mortar, you have material. What's its value? What you can do with it. If a person doesn't await the Yeshua, what is Yeshua? That's the world coming to fruition. The world achieves its level of what? Of shleimus. It is now what it's supposed to be. There's no longer, right? The Gemara cites a pasuk at the end of Sanhedrin, right? It's Yom Shein Lehem B'chefetz. There's no Bechira any longer. Once Mashiach comes, there's no Bechira. Because there's no Bechira, that means there's no Yotze Lapoel. It's not Bekoach Lapoel. Dov ze royal hanivdo shu bepoel. Teficho tchilas dino gamken im hoy nimshach hanivdo. What was your mindset? Shu bepoel. Oh, im hoy nimshach harachome shu bekoach tomid. Where did you gravitate to? What were you attracted to? To the material? Did you live as a materialistic being? Just awaiting shleimus, that itself is part of the shleimus. That's addressing shleimus. So the first question is, were you mitzapel Yeshua? Did you wait to Yeshua? Let's talk about it. A person says, I've dreamt all my life to make the money I should be able to afford to build a mansion and to decorate it. And after you did it all, now what? What's its value? It has no innate value. Now you can host parties, and who are the guests going to be? And that there's no end to it. So it's always bekoach alapoel, whatever you want to accomplish with it. But in ruchni, in spirituality, once you achieve what you achieve, it is what it is. There's nothing beyond that. So that is bepoel. That's the reality. Did you engage in dialogue in chokhmah, in Torah? Again, but it's the same idea of coming to truth. Once you come to truth, it is what it is. Right? Everything else, it's only a vehicle, but its value is something else. I'll give you an example. All the advances in science, what's its value? It's all physical. Yeah, but the end result is physical. And what is that physical? If you're healthy, you're able to do more. Do more what? Do more physical. And when you do more physical, what could you do? You have to come up with new ideas of what you can do more physical. It's always advancing the physical. So the concept of Gashmi versus Ruchni, physical versus spiritual, is spiritual, whatever you accomplish, that itself is the accomplishment unto itself. Of course, you could continue to advance yourself spiritually, but whatever you accomplish, it has its value unto itself. In physical, whatever the value is, it's only to go to the next step. That's its value. But it's true. But that's what it produces. That's what it produces. But in the physical itself, no, it's true. A person has to. engage in the physical for the spiritual. But what is the actual physical? What is physical existence? Unto itself, it has no value. Right? It's a vehicle to produce. But physical, it is always continuously, it's the physical itself. It's to accommodate physical. The objective, ultimately, if spiritual is not part of the equation, it's to accommodate physical, to advance the physical, continuously advancing the physical. And there's no end to it. To be continued. There's no bechira. Only doing avodas Hashem. Only doing avodas Hashem. Different levels. Different levels. Based on who you before, that's the level you're going to perform. No choice. You have no free choice. No, it says Hashem will purge the world from the evil. The Yetzer Hara is going to be destroyed. There's no evil inclination anymore once Mashiach comes. There's going to be a pasuk. There's going to be a ruach tara. There's going to be a spirit of purity cleansing the world. Clarity. That's why there'll be clarity. There's only distortion because of the Yetzer Hara, because there's evil within existence. But once you purge that, everything is obvious. So it's obvious you behave a certain way. So I want to say it's the question. The Ramchal writes in the Derech Hashem, the Das Tunas, that once Mashiach comes, people will serve Hashem 24 hours a day, literally 24 hours a day means. Maximally, whatever you're able to do, nobody's going to waste a moment. The full focus and investment is only serving Him. And then what's going to happen after 6,000 years? The world comes to an end. Mashiach comes before the end of this existence. No, so the question is, but what's the value? If Shleimus could only be achieved, if serving Hashem is value as Bechira, is that the action should be attributed to yourself. That's Bechira, because I could have done one way or another, so it's me. But once, at the end of time, when Mashiach comes, you have no choice. So the action you've done, you're doing it naturally. So if you're doing it naturally, so what's the point? Right? But yet, it continues till the end of 6,000 years. I would say it's this question.
But that's part of your hana. That's part of your enjoyment.
But you're not there to enjoy. So what I said then, which I'm thinking a little differently now, as I mentioned the question that I asked, that what is the ultimate purpose of the achievement in this world?
To give us the opportunity to reap in its benefits.
No. To have a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you have to establish that commonality. The more shalom you are, you have greater relevance to have a relationship with Him. It's called shleimus. The fact is, the world has to reach a level of shleimus. Things have to be righted. The world is still imperfect. Even after Mashiach, it's imperfect. So people investing their lives continuously till that end of 6,000, that's making all the corrections where the shleimus doesn't exist. Within ourselves and within the world. It's not a schar issue. It's not to be worthy of schar. It's to bring yourself to a point that you should be able to have that ultimate relationship. But the relationship will be at whatever level you deserve. So what you achieve from that point going forward, there's no credit. You get no credit. Because you have no bechira. But in terms of factually what you achieved up to that point, because at the end of the day you're going to be a shalom, the level of relationship will be different level of relationship, even at the lesser level. You understand what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. A person is a paraplegic. They come up with a thing, they could create an artificial leg that you walk normally. Okay? If you don't have the leg, you can't walk. You have to walk through the gate. But I've achieved so much, but if you can't walk, can't go through the gate. Shleimus gets you through the gate. But when you get through the gate, at what level are you rewarded? Based on what you achieved up to that point. You understand what I'm saying? But that shleimus is not attributed to yourself.
So it gets you to the gate.
The world has achieved shleimus. The world, everything at the end of the day has to come back to a perfect state before things end. When God created the world initially, it didn't have any impurity in it.
Right.
Okay, man, all that damage has to be corrected.
It was our contribution.
That will happen. By the end of the year 6,000, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hashem will give the person the ability to be able to make that correction. Well, he's the teacher, he's the Navi, he's everything. Right? That's the leadership.
No.
Okay.